Hey, it's Kevin DeWitt here. Welcome to another tip, trick, or technique session. In this session, we're going to talk about triggering kick and snare manually. So firstly, if you are new to my channel, new to my videos, and you like what you see, please click the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos. So triggering kick and snare manually. So first off, triggering kick and snare, it's something that I have shown in a previous video where I use plugins to do it. It's a common technique where we will add samples or other drum parts on top of the drums to enhance them, just to add a little bit extra to them if there's something lacking in the recording of them. In extreme cases, we can use it to replace the drums, the kick and the snare entirely. Not something I like to do if I can avoid it. But definitely to enhance, we do that. And as I said, in a previous video, I showed how to do it using plugins. What I want to do this one is show you how to do it actually manually. So you don't need to have any plugins. You don't need to buy any plugins. It may not necessarily be as efficient as using plugins, but not everybody can afford to get these specialized plugins to do the technique. So I want to show you how to do it just manually, just putting in the hard work, the manual hard work to get it done yourself. At no expense. So let's just get into it and I'll show you how I do it. Okay, so we're going to start with a kick here. All right, so we've got a kick. Basically sounds like that. And it's a bit of a complicated kick drum pattern here, but you'll see Cubase automatically puts in hit points. And in theory, it puts it on every single transient of a hit. Now, there's quite a bit of bleed in this one, so that means there's a little bit of work to do on it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this track. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the audio. Now, you need to do this process on the entire song, or as much of the song as you like. I'm only going to do it on a small portion, just for the video's sake here. But we need to obviously bring that in. We can change the name to whatever, kick, trigger. Okay, but what we need now is we need to get ourselves a sample. All right, so we've got a kick here. Let's just put that in solo. And let's get rid of that. So it sounds like that. All right, so our original. And then our new one. Okay, so the main technique here is obviously we want to get this lined up. We want it to get it trimmed the way we'd like. So if we want it shorter or however we want it, put our fades in. And we won't put a fade in the start. So now we need to use our technique to get to each of the kicks. All right, so we need to determine our kick drums here. It would be nicer on this track if it was a bit cleaner, but it isn't. But let's see if we can work it out. Okay, I think I've got a fair idea. These little ones here, the snare, these are all the kicks. That's a kick, that's a snare. So these little round ones here are the snares. So we've got an idea of it. Okay, so we've got our first kick here. I've just placed it on the kick for the sake of it. And I copy it. So I do a Control-C. And then unselect everything. And what I do is press the up arrow to go to the next track. So the previous track. So now we're on our original. And I'm going to move to the next hit point with an Alt-N or a tab to transient if you've got a different system. I'm going to go to the next blank one. Then I'm going to press the down arrow. Now we're on this track here. You can see by the white, I'm going to do a paste and it's going to paste it right there. But now what I'm going to do is, as soon as I do a paste, it's got this last hit that I pasted in selected, which is going to cause us a problem. Now, a way to unselect using your cursors is if I press the forward arrow, so the right arrow, it goes to the back one there, which is not what I wanted to achieve. But if I now press the back or left arrow, it unselects, and then I can go up to the next track, previous track, do my Alt-N again, go down, paste, move right, left, up, Alt-N, down, paste, right, left, up, Alt-N, down, paste. So you can see this is going to take a little bit of time, but if you've got the time and not the money to buy the tools, then the automatic tools, then this approach is definitely valid. Now, in this regard here, when I move down, we're going to be pasting slightly over the top of the other one, but that's okay. I mean, you could go and trim it if you wanted to, but hopefully it'll still give us the results. And we keep doing this process until we get to the end of the song, or whichever part we are replacing. Now, your DAW, if you're not using Cubase, may have a better way of doing this. I know Pro Tools definitely does, because Pro Tools, you can do this same function with the switching down and up, but you don't need to do this right, left option here to unselect things. You can just move up and down, tab to transient, down, paste, up, tab to transient, down, paste. It's a lot quicker, but it's manageable in Cubase, where, you know, I'm just hitting an extra couple of keys, so it's not killing me, that's for sure. So you can see how this is going to take a while. And it doesn't help when you keep hitting the wrong keys and getting into the wrong order. Now you might even be able to actually create your own little macro or script or something like that if you wanted to get fancy about it and be able to do this very quickly. So we're going to stop there. All right, so now we've got this here, and the two together should sound like this. So if we play our new one in isolation, sounds like the beat to me. Now if we play the other one by itself, and then we'll add it in. Now, obviously, we can blend that a bit. We might not want all of that in. So it's adding a lot of low-end girth there. One thing you might want to do is you might want to tweak these a little bit once you've pasted them all in, because you can see here from this original waveform, we've got some big hits and some small hits here. So the drummer is using some dynamics in his playing. So you might want to come in here and adjust the clip gain of some of these smaller hits here so that we sort of represent this style a little bit better. We don't need to get it perfect, but you might want to just do that randomly as you go, just to get a bit of feel in there. And, you know, if I put that in solo, you'll be able to hear the difference. So it sounds like there's a bit of dynamics in there, whereas before it was just all the same hits, bang, 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 bang. Okay, so we can do exactly the same thing with the snare as well. So it's quite common to trigger a snare so that we can get some a different sound in it. So that's the snare we have at the moment. So if I duplicate that track, now we can just add a new track if you want. The reason I duplicate it just to keep the same settings. We can rename it, as I said, delete the original, and again we go across and we're going to find ourselves a sample. Okay, so we've got a snare hit here, and this one sounds like this. Nice and thick, a lot of room to that one. This is our original. So we do the same thing. Basically, we trim it up, copy it, unselect, go to the top track, Alt N. Alt N, we've got too many hit points in this one. Then we go down, paste. We do the same steps again with the left, right movement. Let's go up. So we could probably look at reducing our hit points sensitivity on this one, but I'm not going to do that at this stage for this quick little steps here. All right, so let's stop there and oops, let's bring our cursor back here and we'll drop that and bring it back in. Okay, so we're going to want to blend that in because that is excessive, as way excessive. Okay, it's a very loud snare, that. Let's just... All right, so let's bring it up a tiny bit here. So here we go. So there's a big difference there. And you can blend in as much or as little as you like. So there you go. That is triggering kick and snare manually. Let me know what you think of it in the comments. Is it something that you do? Do you prefer plugins? Do you actually do it this way because you prefer to save the money, or you just like the hands-on approach? Let me know. If you think it's a stupid idea, then let me know that as well. I'd love to get all feedback around this. If you have any questions around it, please feel free to put it in the comments. I'd love to help wherever I can. If you do like what you see here, please click the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos. Hopefully the video has been helpful. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.